More and more heroes are gaining popularity, and Xavier has been the second most picked hero among all heroes in the past 2 weeks. But why is Xavier a good pick now among all mages? For those who didn't read the update, when Xavier is in Transcendent State, his passive now reduces the cooldown of his ultimate from 12 seconds. Now it's 36 seconds, which is 3 times higher reduction compared to before. To clarify, Xavier's passive has 3 stages, each corresponding to different effects for every skill. When Xavier are in the Transcendent State, all of his skills will be enhanced to stage 3 for 5 seconds. This duration can be extended by 1 second for every skill that hits an enemy. This means you need to cast and aim your skills very accurately at the enemy to maximize the duration of the Transcendent State and significantly reduce your skill cooldowns, especially for the ultimate. You can also use your skills on jungle monsters or minions to extend its duration. But once the duration ends, you cannot add any stacks by using them. You can only stack your passive on the Lord, Turtle, and enemy heroes. Using your ultimate will automatically put you into the Transcendent State. And this passive buff makes Xavier more powerful, as he can now spam all his skills more frequently. One thing to remember is that Xavier has no escape abilities, so when your Purify, Sprint, or Flicker are on cooldown, make sure to position yourself in the safest place possible. So, Bloodwings and Lightning Truncheon are good items for Xavier as they boost his movement speed and provide an additional shield. Here are my items and emblems set for Xavier. Buy Glowing Wand first if you are facing healers and high HP regen enemies. And Moscov, the most picked hero in Mythic rank for the past months, is currently dominating the game, and even in the biggest tournaments. This comes after the attack and move update, which we anticipated that would make him shine due to the smoother control after attacks. Plus, the added effect of his ultimate makes Moscov even more deadly, allowing him to reach his target with a single key. He is the only marksman with a global ultimate, though it requires precise targeting. What's great about Moscov is that he has a crowd control effect that lasts for 1.2 seconds. In addition to spearing enemies to walls, you can also spear them directly into enemy heroes to maximize the use of Moscov's passive ability. You can also make it unpredictable by changing its direction with the help of your dash ability. You just need to dash forward in the opposite direction of the wall right before the spear hits the wall. His blink skill isn't just a typical blink, it also adds attack speed, turning Moscov into a machine gun in the late game. Because of his complete package skills, he is currently overpowered and capable of diving over towers and outplaying opponents using his abilities. One common mistake among new Moscov players is using the second skill to push enemies away even when there are no walls, which allows the enemy to escape. It's better not to use the second skill if there is no wall or hero to hit. The top Moscov players use the Trinity build and high outplay potential items like Wind of Nature and Rose Gold for the late game, Quantum Charge, Master Assassin, and Swift on the Emblem, combined with Inspire. But since we're playing solo rank and we can't always rely on our teammates, so adjustments are necessary. You can switch the emblem from Master Assassin into Tenacity and change the spell from Inspire to Purify. This way, you won't be taken down easily when the enemy focuses on you. You can also buy Steel Leg Plates for added early game physical defense. And still dominating the jungle and EXP lane, Masha has become even stronger with the addition of the item Sky Piercer. This pairs perfectly with his first skill, which deals so much damage based on the enemy's max HP. The main reason Masha is so good for solo gaming is that she can tower dive without any help from the team, and that is because she has an anti-CC ability that activates every time she loses an HP bar. This makes it easy to initiate fights, take down enemies, and then quickly return to farming. And even when you're on the losing side, you won't be easily interrupted while farming or easily killed by the enemy due to Masha's 3 HP bars and her strong skill composition. Just remember to prioritize farming in the early game because Masha needs items and levels to unleash her full potential. You can also use this trick with Masha, which allows her to reset the cooldown of her ultimate at the base by using skill 1 or 2 after filling your first or second HP bar. After purchasing Blade of Heptasias, you can participate in skirmishes, gank, and then return to farming to snowball and quickly complete your item build. Warcry or Lethal Ignition are perfect choices for Masha. In XP lane, Deroth remains one of the scariest opponents, especially in solo rank matches. He can easily take down enemies one by one due to his exceptional armor reduction, which can reach up to 75%. This allows him to melt down almost any opponent, even tanks, in a direct 1 versus 1 fight. And because his ultimate can no longer be interrupted, you just need to execute his combo correctly for an easy kill. Plus, your second skill can one-hit opponents, so don't be afraid to fight even when you're low on health. Aside from Petrify, Flicker is a good option for extending the range of your combo and making your ultimate unpredictable as well. Blade of Heptasis is a good first item for Dirith, but if you're up against an enemy with high HP regen, buy Sea Halberd first, and add 2 sustain items so you won't be easily burst down by enemies. And as we saw earlier, Lethal Ignition is good for finishing off enemies, but you can also try Warcry. Choose either Flicker or Petrify for the spell. And the strongest marksman today, aside from Moscov, is none other than Roger. He is very self-reliant and exceptionally strong in the early game due to having 6 skills available by level 2. And because of that, Roger is currently the most picked hero in the mythic rank over the last 15 days. All you need to remember when playing Roger is to play aggressively and harass your opponent in the gold lane right away, especially if they don't have a roamer with them. But be sure to hit both shots of your first skill because the first shot will slow the enemy down, and the second is a bullet that will reduce their physical armor. After hitting your opponent with your human form's first skill, transform into the wolf form and finish him off with your wolf form's first skill. Your human form's basic attack is much stronger the higher the enemy's remaining HP is, while your wolf form's basic attack is stronger when the enemy is low on HP. So make sure to utilize your passive by hitting them with your human form's basic attack first before transforming into the wolf form. In Roger's build, you have several options: Trinity build for tanks, crit build for squishy targets, and penetration build for both. And of course, we can't forget Freya, who is truly a beast when it comes to solo queue. She can easily dive in even when she's solo and carry the game as long as she snowballs and quickly completes her items. It's also better to play Freya as a jungler so you can farm quickly, rotate to all lanes to help with objectives, and push effectively. In the late game, enemies will just run away from you, even if you're solo. And don't ever chase Freya because you'll end up regretting it. Always remember that the timing of your entry is crucial. Freya is easy to catch, especially if the enemy has a lot of crowd control. So make sure to check if they've already used their skills that can stop you before you go all in and dive in. Freya's double jump is also a huge help for surprising enemies. For every skill, you will get a lot of shields, so don't forget to use your skills to maximize your shield for maximum sustainability. For Jungle Freya, this is my item and emblem build for her, Physical Penetration plus Critical build, and this is for the X-Plane Freya. Remember, the other items are situational, and these are the top global Freya builds. When it comes to solo rank heroes that excel in pushing and farming, Popol and Koopa are among the top choices. Popol is an excellent choice if you're looking for a hero to spam from epic to mythic, also called as one trick. This is because he is incredibly powerful in the current meta and relatively easy to master, making him a reliable option for climbing the ranks. He is typically used as a gold lane hero, but Jungle Popol is becoming more popular now because he can rotate quickly around the map to secure kills and then push towers extremely fast when the gank is successful. You will notice that the game is only at the 2-minute mark, yet this turret has already been destroyed. Besides HP, Koopa inherits all the attributes of Popol, including passive equipment effects, making Popol and Koopa almost count as 2 heroes. Look how Cho is unable to do anything at Popol and Koopa's combo. The stun from Koopa's consecutive bites in Alpha Wolf form is extremely irritating, and it's a very effective skill for preventing enemy escapes and setting up engagements during clashes. Popol's skill combo depends on the situation. For instance, when the enemy is nearby, it's effective to use the sequence 1 Alt 2 3 for quicker enemy knockup, followed by immobilizing with the third skill. But don't focus too much on combo. Prioritize positioning and landing free hits instead. It's crucial not to depend entirely on Koopa to handle everything, as some new Popol players may overlook the importance of basic attacking and simply toss Koopa into the fight. You may notice I'm using Temporal Rain on Popol and Koopa because the top global Popol players use this emblem to maximize crowd control from Popol's skills after using the ultimate. But Quantum Charge is also an excellent emblem for Popol. And here are the top builds for Popol and Koopa. But if you prefer a sustained jungler over a squishy one, Alpha is really keeping up with the current meta against burst assassins and marksmen. Alpha's ability to destroy every enemy with his skills, aided by Beta's true damage, is very deadly, especially considering that his main items are tanky items. Look how he sustains himself against every enemy approaching him, and even with the tower assisting them, Alpha's health remains almost full. Alpha was also picked and used by Sakai's in a deciding match against a Ling during Game 7 of the MSC 2024 finals. Surprisingly, Alpha contributed and helped Team SRG win the championship. And of course, Alpha doesn't just excel in the pro scene, he also performs well in solo rank. The great thing about him is that he's very easy to understand. Just remember that for every skill you execute, Beta will also follow up with a true damage. Alpha's combo is very simple, and his skills have a low cooldown, so you can spam them and abuse your spell vamp much like Ruby. The longer the fight, the better it is, so War Axe, Queen's Wings, Brute Force Breastplate, and Oracle are perfect core items for him. Here is my full item and emblem build for him. Another marksman who is also a good pick in today's meta is Leslie. She is one of the hardest marksmen to catch, particularly if you have mastered her. Besides having Flicker, she can enter a camouflage state and has a knockback ability when enemies get close. In addition, Leslie's hits are incredibly lethal, dealing mostly pure damage. This means enemies have no way to reduce her basic attack damage, except by using items that increase their HP. Leslie's ultimate can be blocked by a teammate, but this means the one who blocks it will take the damage instead, so it's still manageable. To utilize Leslie's passive, activate it first by attacking. Then, use a basic attack after every skill to maximize true damage. This indicates that your passive is ready, and this is what happens when you combine your passive and first skill in a single hit. Only one true damage will be dealt, so the correct way is to hit first, then use your first skill and hit again. You can also use your second skill while using your ultimate to change the angle of the shot, making it harder for your opponent's teammates to block the incoming shot and kill the target. And you can also use your first skill to add extra damage. Here is the item build for Leslie. It's up to you whether to include Sky Piercer. It's a good option if you're having an easy early game. For the emblem, use Quantum Charge, Weapon Master, and Fatal for maximum damage output. In the XP lane, Terizla is becoming quite popular due to his exceptional durability and strong spell vamp. He is extremely hard to burst down because his passive makes him tougher as his health decreases. He can easily keep up using his second skill, which can be used 3 times and has a very short cooldown. This is his main source of damage, so make sure to target the enemy properly and finish them with your first skill, which deals more damage the lower the enemy's HP is. Terizla has a lot of crowd control, and his skills are great in team fights. Therefore, you should always aim to be present in the turtle fight to either set up plays or catch the enemy jungle hero to prevent them from using retribution. Your ultimate penalty zone can turn the tide of a fight, so make sure to use it and target it properly during crucial moments. This is the item and emblem build for Terizla, which is similar to the item build for Alpha. Among tanks, Lolita is impressively the current highest win rate across all ranks in Mobile Legends. This is likely due to her strong shield, which can reflect skills. And top Lolita players often build her as a full support with Revitalize, allowing her to provide more than just a shield. You can also use Lolita to counter tricky marksmen, as she can reflect basic attacks as well. And of course, we can't forget the big black dragon of Mobile Legends, none other than Zhong. Zhong is a fighter with 3 forms, who has high sustainability, durability, and surprising damage due to his abilities and passive. He is perfect for team fights, so be sure to reach level 4 at the right time to help your team in the turtle fight. His skills have a crowd control and damage, making him ideal for prolonged team engagements. Look how he sustains and outplays all his opponents. This is due to Zhong's passive, which erupts after consuming 5 stacks of Sha residue, dealing damage over time. He has several variations of combos, each depending on the situation, and the most important thing is to fully understand all of Zhong's skills to know which skill combination to use in each scenario. The way to master every combo is to practice and use Zhong repeatedly in every match. This hero is not easy to play and can take days or weeks to fully master, but once you master him, you'll dominate the XP lane and climb the ranks. Here is the item and emblem set you can use for Zhong. But always remember, the effectiveness of all these heroes ultimately depends on how skilled the player is.